We're going to get to the breaking news now. The federal government officially is shut down.
That means many federal agencies are closed today. Hundreds of thousands of government employees are off the job or are being forced to work without pay.
President Trump says some of those workers could permanently lose their jobs. As News 4's Chris Pallone explains, Congress just couldn't reach a deal.
The federal government is shut down for the first time since President Trump was last in office.
The 60-vote threshold having not been received.
The shutdown started at midnight Eastern time, just hours after two last-ditch Senate votes to keep the government open failed Tuesday night. Neither bill getting the necessary 60 votes needed to pass in the Republican-controlled chamber. Federal employees were told to expect an orderly shutdown. On Capitol Hill, the finger-pointing started before the voting did.
Senate Democrats have sacrificed the American people to Democrats' partisan interests.
So we see now Republicans are plunging America into a shutdown, rejecting bipartisan talks, pushing a partisan bill, and risking America's health care, worst of all.
Democrats hope to secure more money for Affordable Care Act subsidies before costs for consumers skyrocket. Republicans say there's time to negotiate that later. In a shutdown, Social Security, Medicare, and VA benefits will continue. So will student loans. But some national parks will close, and about 750,000 federal workers could be furloughed. Others, like TSA officers, will work without pay until the shutdown ends.
So the last thing we want to do is shut it down, but a lot of good can come down from shutdowns.
President Trump warning some of the government employees furloughed during the shutdown might not come back when it's over.
When you shut it down, you have to do layoffs, so we'd be laying off a lot of people that are going to be very affected.
Senate leadership says that chamber will be in session over the weekend, but right now the House is not slated to be back until October 7th, meaning a shutdown could last at least a week if the House is not called back sooner. Chris Pallone, NBC News.
So obviously it's unclear how long the shutdown could last. That is making many people understandably nervous.
Even if you don't work for the federal government, you definitely probably know someone who does. As we've mentioned, the shutdown is affecting 750,000 employees, many of whom are our neighbors.
News 4's Megan McGrath joins us live now from L'Enfant Plaza with the metro station there with more on the impacts. And I suspect you're seeing a lighter crowd load this morning, Megan?
Absolutely, yeah. There are a lot of government buildings, a lot of government offices around here, but the only people that are working in terms of federal workers are those essential workers. So yeah, there's a different vibe around here, a different feel. Normally very, very busy and crowded in the morning. But all of those non-essential federal workers, they are all at home. They're going to stay at home until this shutdown ends. So a lot of uncertainty, of course, because people don't know when this shutdown is going to end. Now, no one is going to be paid until this is over. That goes for essential and non-essential workers alike. They will eventually get reimbursed. They'll get retroactive pay. But while the shutdown is in effect, no paychecks are going to come out. Now, I've been talking to essential workers who have been coming into the office this morning. One man in particular, he says he's okay with coming to the office. He's been through shutdowns before and knows he will eventually be paid. But he says it's unfortunate that all of this is happening. Now, he didn't want to be identified, so you're going to actually be seeing his shoes while he speaks to us.
You know, at this point, being in the government as long as I have been, I'm kind of used to it, but we will get paid eventually. So luckily, I'm smart enough to save money in case things like this happen.
Are you disappointed it came to this?
I am. I really wish they would see eye to eye more often and work things out. But, you know, not everybody sees the world the same.
So behind me here, you can see all of the food trucks that kind of line up here along the curb right outside the station. They're here because normally there are tons of government workers here coming out of the metro. They grab their cup of coffee at the coffee truck that you see behind me here. While the shutdown is in place, in effect, it's going to be a totally different situation here. So there's that trickle down. It's not just impacting the government workers, it's impacting small businesses as well. And they've had a tough year already. They saw cuts with Doge. That brought down the number of customers. Now we're seeing the shutdown. It's been a tough situation for them as well. And again, no one knows how long this shutdown is going to last. Back to you.
Yeah, with those food trucks, Megan, frequently those are small family businesses. So that trickle down effect, that ripple effect, could be significant depending on how long this lasts.
It's real.
Yeah,
it's real.
All right, Megan McGrath reporting for us from the L'Enfant Plaza Metro Station. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Megan. Some important notes for people living in D.C. All agencies, including the DMV, will remain open during this government shutdown. Your trash will still be picked up. Schools will be open. Parking will be enforced, so make sure you pay those meters. Meantime, Metro services operating normally, as Megan just talked about, in front of L'Enfant Plaza. And another important note, D.C. Superior Court will be open, so if you have jury duty or a court date, you need to show up.
Bottom line, whether or not you work for the federal government, the shutdown could affect you, your family members. Stay with News 4 and NBC News for updates from Capitol Hill. If you download the free NBC Washington app, we will send you a push alert when news breaks.